Baruch are all those who revere Yahuah, and for those who walk in his ways. Alahym 128, verse 1. I like opening up with that verse to remind us that there are rewards to those who revere him. If we revere him, we're going to want to live by every word that proceeds out of his mouth. It's quite a task because we've been so duped and so trained to live by this world. But every step that we make walking in his way is a demonstration of us revering him, and he will help us. So let's stay focused and just live for him. Mashal 15, Proverbs 15. A soft answer turns away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. Sirach talks about that. And I'll be reading that soon. Sirach 1, he talks about how if there's wisdom in the place where there's wrath going on, that it will subside. Soft answer turns away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. So we know what to expect then, right? When we see someone getting angered, something was said to stir it. Some people are easily stirred. But wisdom knows how to quench it. Ephesians 6 verse 4 reads, Fathers, do not irritate and provoke your children to anger. Do not exasperate them to resentment, but rear them tenderly in the training and discipline and the counsel and admonition of Yahuah. Fathers, do not provoke or irritate or fret your children. Do not be hard on them or harass them, lest they become discouraged and sullen and morose and feel inferior and frustrated. Do not break their spirit. Mashal 14:29. He who is slow to anger has great revelation, insight, enlightenment, revelation and perception. But he who is hasty of spirit exposes and exalts his foolishness, his folly. Colossians 3:21. Fathers, do not provoke or irritate or fret your children. Do not be hard on them or harass them, lest they become discouraged and sullen and morose and feel inferior and frustrated. Do not break their spirit. So these were messages in other places that confirm or in agreement, I should say, because Yah's word doesn't necessarily need confirmation, right? Either we believe it or we don't. Unless it's something that was just slipped in there. But these other verses, the one I read in Ephesians 6, 4, and then in verse 21, and then Mashal 14, verse 29, and Colossians 3:21, those are other verses that are in agreement with Mashal 15:1. It shows what anger can do, even to children. And even if they're obedient, they don't lash out. In their spirit, what is going on in them, their inner man, what is taking place in that real person, that inner being. It starts developing a core belief about themselves and about people. We're so responsible in what we deposit in our children. And it's so sad that most of us, we're not trained how to be parents. And the best training we will get is watching our parents, because children do what they see more than what they hear us telling them. That's why it's called role modeling. We model before them what they don't know. They learn from us. So we're modeling it. Mashal 15 verse 2, the tongue of the wise uses knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools pours out foolishness. I mean, what else do they have in them, right? We can't give what we don't have, so they're giving what they have. But the mouth of fools pours out foolishness, because that's what's in them. I apologize, something just fell. The eyes of Yahuah are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. It's a breakdown. A fool despises his father's instructions, but he that regards reproof is prudent. He's wise. And we keep seeing this over and over again. Those that will accept reproof or instruction, they're wise. But you know those ones who are touchy, you can't tell them anything. They just, their spirit has been damaged. Children learn what they live, what has been put in them. So we just have to, see if y'all wants us to work with that person to help them to see that the criticism isn't about you, your person, or the instruction is not about putting you down. It's about bringing life to you so that not just you, me, any one of us have an opportunity to do things better in a more acceptable way. So, verse 4 again, a wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. A fool despises his father's instructions, but he that regards reproof is prudent. In the house of the righteous is much treasure. Let me stop there. So since we're talking about parenting along with this, a fool despises his father's instructions. I am going to take it that they're meaning this child is despising good instruction from a father who's instructing in love. The discipline is done correctly as according to how Yah would have us to instruct in discipline. Because just because someone is the parent doesn't mean that they're doing it right. We saw that in the other verses that I read, that sometimes parents are harsh. They're even mean, cruel in the way they correct and discipline. Verse 6, in the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish does not so. So how would the foolish be able to disperse knowledge? They don't have any wisdom. Or the knowledge that they do share will lead to death. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to Yahuah. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to Yahuah, but the request of the upright is his delight. So maybe some of those people who are saying, well, I was asking for this and I didn't get it and he's not answering when I call on him. Must be a reason. Because the scriptures let us know that he answers our calls, our cries. We who are upright and set apart, commandment keepers, seeking to please him, Because he says, but the request of the upright is his delight. And Alahym 20 says that all our petitions are filled. The way of the wicked is an abomination unto Yahuah, but he loves him that follows after righteousness. Correction is grievous unto him that abandons the way, and he that hates reproof shall die. So correction is grievous unto him that forsakes or abandons the way of what? The way of truth and life that leads to life. Hell and destruction are before Yahuah, how much more than the hearts of the children of men. A scorner loves not one that reproves him, neither will he go unto the wise. You know, I've said it. Other people have said it. That if we want truth, we go to people who are going to tell us truth, right? The people who don't want truth, they'll go to people who they know are going to tell them what they want to hear. Their mindset is on the same level. So, a scorner loves not one that reproves him, neither will he go unto the wise. He's not going to go to someone who's going to tell him right. Or her. They are not going to go to those who are going to tell them what's right. A merry heart makes a cheerful countenance, but the sorrow of the heart, the spirit is broken. But by sorrow of heart, the spirit is broken. The heart of him that has insight, comprehension, seeks knowledge. We want more, right? But the mouth of fools feeds on foolishness. All the days of the afflicted are evil, but he that is of a merry heart has a continual feast. Better is a little with the fear of Yahuah than great treasure and trouble therewith. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. Alahym 37 says that too, about the little that the righteous have is better than, the great riches of the wealthy. I am paraphrasing that though. A wrathful man stirs up strife, just angry about everything, anything. But he that is slow to anger appeases strife. You know what? It's so sad that today there's a lot of angry people. When you hear the road rage, someone who has not driven for any length of time and could be driving for a long time, right? Years of experience, and still might sometimes not remember to put their blinker on, or may not see someone in their blind spot. But there are people today that are so full of wrath that they will shoot. There's been children who've been killed in those shootings on highways and in streets, and parents, and it's just so sad. So a wrathful man stirs up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeases strife. The way of the slothful man is as a hedge of thorns, but the way of the righteous is made plain. Have you ever been stuck by a thorn? I cannot even imagine running into a hedge of them. A wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish son despises his mother. Folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom, but a man of understanding walks uprightly. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed. But in the multitude of counselors, they are established. We have to have purpose. And no sense sitting around for counsel if there's no purpose. We don't even know the purpose of our meeting. We don't know the purpose of our life. And there's a lot of people who just don't have purpose. And we don't know our purpose. There's a lot of hurting people who need healing. And there's An audio says that Yah will heal our land. We need our lands healed. Based on Ezekiel 36, I think it is. Ezekiel 36. A man hath joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season, how good it is. The way of life is above to the wise, that he may depart from hell beneath. The way of life is above to the wise, that he may depart from hell beneath. Yahuah will destroy the house of the proud, but he will establish the border of the widow. The thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to Yahuah, but the words of the pure are pleasant words. He that is greedy of gain troubles his own house, but he that hates gifts shall live. That is a mouthful there. He that is greedy of gain troubles his own house. And that can be in any way, working overtime upon overtime upon overtime, just to get ahead, to keep up with the Joneses. Or if they have a gambling issue or any type of addiction, they're constantly trying to make more money to cover those debts and don't have time for the children or the spouse. But he that hates gifts shall live. We don't take bribery or flattery, and we're not always, taking opportunities to make more money. We can work this shift. We can go out of town for this job and do this and do that. Anything in excess leads to trouble. The heart of the righteous studies to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pours out evil things. So the heart of the righteous is going to be slow to speak. What did James say? Yaakov said, slow to speak, swift to hear, and slow to wrath. First chapter of James, Yaakov. Yahuah is far from the wicked, but he hears the requests and the cries and the calls of the righteous. That goes along with the verse 8. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to Yahuah, but the cries of the upright is his delight. The light of the eyes rejoices the heart, and a good report makes the bones fat. The ear that hears the reproof of life abides among the wise. There seems to be great increase, great abundance when we can sit and listen. The ears that hears the reproof of life abides among the wise. He that refuses instruction despises his own being, but he that hears reproof gets knowledge and insight. The fear of Yahuah is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. It seems that Mashal 15 had a lot to say about wrath and anger. Those who refrain from accepting reproof and wise counsel. Reading and listening to the Mashal Proverbs, the Proverbs really can help us it's been helping me to look at myself and how do I react to situations. First of all, they say when you react to situations, that's when things go sour. We don't want to react. We want to respond. Until next time, brothers and sisters, stay encouraged. Remind yourself always that we win in Yah. And without Him, we can do nothing. But with Him, we can do all things. Until next time, this was the reading that was based on Mashal 15.